All right, so today we're going to break down one of the most calculated and frankly fascinating economic stories happening right now. We're talking about Rwanda's very deliberate plan to engineer itself into Africa's next big tech hub.
Now, to really get the scale of this ambition, you've got to understand where they're coming from. I mean, just picture it. A nation that not even that long ago had to rebuild itself from the absolute ground up.
And now, that same nation is strategically turning itself into one of the hottest spots for tech and investment on the entire continent. So the big question is, how? How is that even possible? And maybe more importantly, what's the actual game plan?
You know, when you think about tech powerhouses in Africa, your mind probably jumps to the big guys, right? But that's not the story we're getting into today. Nope. This is about Rwanda. And let me be clear, none of this is happening by accident. This is all by design.
All right, so let's get into the strategy itself. Like I said, this wasn't an accident. It all started with a really specific and kind of surprising pivot away from the way things are normally done.
So you see, most economies follow this traditional playbook, right? You build on natural resources, you build on manufacturing, but Rwanda, they decided to just leapfrog that whole stage. They made a huge bet that in today's world, digital infrastructure is way more valuable than physical resources. They decided to compete on things that can scale, like knowledge, connectivity, and just being incredibly efficient.
Okay, so you can't build a digital-first economy on thin air, right? You need the foundation. So, pillar number one of their blueprint was all about building the digital version of highways and bridges.
And man, they were serious about it. We're talking a massive rollout of fiber-optic cables across the country. We're talking nationwide 4G access. We're talking about turning the capital, Kigali, into a legitimate smart city. See, this isn't just about getting people on the internet. It's about creating a super reliable, low-cost environment where a tech company can actually set up shop and grow.
Yeah, this quote just nails the strategy perfectly. It's so proactive. Think about it. They built these world-class digital highways before the traffic even showed up. That makes it a no-brainer for the traffic, the startups, the innovators, the investors to come.
So, once the hardware was in place, they shifted focus to the software. And I'm not talking about computer software. I mean the rules, the regulations, the policies. And honestly, this is where Rwanda's strategy gets really, really smart. They rolled out this concept called a regulatory sandbox. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a safe space for innovators to play. It basically lets startups, especially in tricky areas like fintech, test out their brand new ideas without getting crushed by a mountain of rules right from the start.
And what this does is create this amazing feedback loop. On one hand, startups get to innovate at lightning speed. But here's the brilliant part. The regulators get to watch and learn from these live tests. That means they can write smarter, more modern rules that actually help the industry grow instead of choking it.
And we're not talking about small-time apps here. This whole sandbox approach has basically turned Rwanda into a real-world laboratory for some seriously cutting-edge financial tech. Think about it. Everything from new digital payment systems for people without bank accounts, all the way to new blockchain solutions for managing supply chains.
So you've got the infrastructure, you've got the smart policies, and all of that leads to one super important result. You get the attention of global investors. So let's look at Rwanda's playbook. How exactly are they getting investors to the table?
It really all comes down to one thing: reducing friction. I mean, put yourself in an investor's shoes for a second. You can register a business in under 24 hours. The legal system is transparent, corruption is super low, and to top it all off, they're giving you targeted tax incentives just for being a tech company. I mean, come on, that is a seriously compelling package.
And this quote right here, it's basically the government's message to the world, boiled down. It's a direct promise. They're saying, come build here, scale from here, and we will make it as easy, fast, and cheap as possible for you to get started.
But here's the thing. The vision here is so much bigger than just Rwanda itself. They're positioning the country to be the perfect, stable launchpad, a headquarters where companies can start before expanding across East Africa and really the whole continent. But to pull that off, you need more than just good policies on paper.
You need alignment. And to see why that's such a big deal, just think about how things usually work in other places. You got the government in one box, the regulators in another, and the private sector in a third. They're all in their own silos, a lot of the time working against each other. It just creates drag. It slows everything to a crawl.
But in Rwanda, it's totally different. There is a very deliberate effort to get everyone on the same page. When the government, the regulators, and the businesses are all pulling in the same direction with that one unified goal of becoming a tech leader, well, things just move so much faster. And that alignment, that's their secret weapon.
So, when you put all these pieces together, the question gets a lot bigger than just Rwanda, doesn't it? You have to wonder, is what they're doing a whole new blueprint for how a country can develop in the 21st century?
Which, of course, brings us back to the big question that's on everyone's mind. With all this planning and all this money pouring in, is Rwanda actually becoming the Silicon Valley of Africa?
Well, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. The thing is, it's not really trying to be Silicon Valley, at least not in terms of massive scale. It's building something different, something more strategic. It's a high-efficiency launchpad. It's all about being precise, fast, and structured. They're not competing on population size. They're competing on speed.
And really, that's the main takeaway here. The Rwandan blueprint, this model, it's built on 3 core pillars. It's a total masterclass in strategic thinking. First, build the digital highways. Second, engineer the rules to actually help innovation. And third, do absolutely everything you can to build trust and confidence with investors.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If this model, this focus on precision and efficiency really works out, it could totally rewrite the playbook for development. Which makes you wonder, right? Who's next? Which country do you think is going to be the next one to grab the attention of the global tech world?